Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I just uploaded a video a couple days ago, but I have a lot of video ideas I wanna post before I forget lol. If you couldn't tell by the title, I will be talking about Hard to Swallow Pills K-pop edition. I've seen some of these videos before and I have some of my own I'd like to discuss. I don't think a disclaimer is really necessary because you all should have common sense to not spread hate, but just please be respectful in the comments, and if what I say doesn't apply to you, then there's no reason to be offended. Anyways, let's get on with the video, shall we? Number 1. Stop assuming idols' sexuality. I've seen this occur so many times and to be honest it really annoys me. In my opinion, even if you're really convinced that an idol may be gay or not straight, that doesn't mean you should take it to Twitter and start spreading rumors, because that can actually be very damaging to an idol's career. I don't know if some of y'all know or not, but South Korea is still a pretty conservative country when it comes to the LGBTQ+ community. Now I'm not saying that all idols are straight, because there's probably a lot of idols that aren't and we don't even know, but we don't have to know. It's none of our business. If an idol doesn't wanna come out yet, then they have every right not to. I don't care if you're 100% convinced they're gay, some of y'all just need to stop coming to conclusions so quickly. As someone who is bisexual, it's really exciting to see representation, especially in something you love like K-pop. However, I'm not gonna conclude that an idol is a part of the community just because they wore a rainbow shirt once and don't specify on the gender of their ideal type. Sorry if some of this didn't make sense, but in short, if an idol doesn't come out and say hey I'm gay or bisexual, or asexual, or just not straight, then stop assuming. Number 2. You don't need to know everything about your faves. This somewhat is related to the first opinion, but this is just in general. You don't need to know who an idol is dating, or if they're even dating, their past, the people they hang around with, or even their mental state. I swear some of y'all act like these idols are your kids or something, when most of these idols are like 5 to 10 years older than y'all. I get that you may be curious to know what they do outside of being an idols, but remember that there's limits. I know you may feel close to them, but even they tell us about their personal life, we still barely know anything about them, and we should keep it that way. I feel like a good example is Jin from BTS. He doesn't talk much about his family, friends, or dating life, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's also okay if an idol wants to tell you all about their life, but some of you guys need a reminder that an idol's life doesn't revolve around you. How would you guys feel if someone was asking a billion questions about your family, friends and your past? You'd feel a bit creeped out and annoyed, right? So treat idols the way you'd like to be treated. It's not that hard to mind your business. Number 3. Line distribution matters a lot. Okay, so I know there's been a lot of debate about line distribution for a while, but I believe it actually matters, especially in a group with lots of members. If there's a group with more than 8 members, of course it's gonna be more difficult to distribute lines compared to a group of 5 people, but some companies make giving each member some lines like it's the most difficult thing on earth. I'm looking at UBBC. I'm gonna use Luna as an example. Q's their line distribution is pretty messed up. I remember when So What came out and lots of people were upset about the lack of Vivi's lines, and I mean, can you blame them? I mean, for almost all of them to have either a vocal or rapper position, they couldn't give Vivi at least 5 seconds, like come on now. Imagine you've trained for years to become an idol and all you get is like 1 second of lines. It's not even like she can't sing, I mean she got a whole ass solo where you can hear her vocals. I know some members may not suit a certain song of theirs, but it's just plain unfair to give an idol's 1 second of a line in a song. Number 4. Just because a song has a chill vibe or isn't in your face, that doesn't mean it's underwhelming. I've seen a lot of people do this with Alcohol Free, calling the song weak or boring. It's perfectly fine if you don't like the song. But I just find it weird how if there's a song that has loud beats and a big dance break then it's too chaotic, but if it's a chill song with a relaxed vibe, then it's underwhelming. You do know that songs can be toned down and still be fun to listen to, right? Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of songs I love that are chaotic with a big beat drop, but sometimes simple is great too without it being a ballad. It also just doesn't make sense for some of y'all to complain about a group having too much noise music yet you don't even listen to their chill songs. A girl, make it make sense please. Number 5. The only reason some of y'all hate on girl crush concepts is because it's popular now. Of course this doesn't apply to everyone who doesn't like girl crush, because to be honest it's not my favorite concept of all time, but it's obvious that some of you do hate on it only because it got popular over time. It was the same thing with cute concepts too. When many girl groups were doing cute concepts, y'all called it boring and oversaturated and wanted something new, but now that there's a new popular concept, all of a sudden there's a problem. And y'all do know that there's plenty of girl groups that use other concepts besides cute and girl crush, right? There's mature, royal, fantasy, traditional, quirky, and so much more. Some of just don't wanna search for it. And girl crush concepts aren't even as bad as some of y'all make it out to be. Yes, there are some that do overuse it without changing it up, but it's really not that big of a deal. Number 6. Y'all take encore stages way too seriously. I've seen so many people do this with Twice, especially that one encore stage in their More and More era. Yay, they might have been off pitch a little bit, but why do y'all care so damn much? An encore stage is to celebrate their win and have fun. It's not supposed to be another performance, so why are y'all critiquing it so much? If I'm being honest, people who do this are the reason why some groups get nervous to do encore stages because of how much hate they could receive from just one slip up. Y'all love to say that we need to start treating K-pop idols like real humans, which we do, but then you turn around and start bashing them for one voice crack. I promise you, an idol not sounding their best on an encore stage is the least of your worries. Number 7. Everything in K-pop is westernized. I keep hearing people say that BTS is westernized or Blackpink is westernized when literally the entire K-pop industry is westernized, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, where do you think they got the idea of boy and girl groups from? And a lot of the trends come from not only America but mainly Black culture. Of course K-pop still is its own thing, and even America is starting to take things from K-pop now, but yay, instead of saying all these groups are becoming westernized, just look at the history of K-pop and see how it's always been like that. Number 8. Just because you don't like a song, that doesn't mean it's a flop. The way some of y'all don't know what a flop means is kinda ridiculous at this point. It just shows how some people will hear a word and use it without knowing what it means. A flop usually means that a song is unsuccessful or didn't do well with the public. Let's take Mafia in the Morning by ITZY for example. At first, many people were saying it's a flop and it's bad, which is okay if you don't like the song, but I mean, I wouldn't call the song that got 5 wins a flop. Of course you don't have to like a song that's popular or successful, but instead of saying I don't like this song so it's a flop, just try saying this song wasn't my taste or I think this is their worst song. Number 9. Literally almost every fandom is toxic to a certain degree. I'm so tired of hearing who's the most toxic fandom and who's the least toxic fandom, and this is how most fan wars start out. The only reason why PPL think BTS has the worst fandom is because the most toxic ones just unfortunately happen to be the loudest ones, and they're one if not the biggest K-pop fandom. And yes, you can be in the smallest K-pop fandoms and still find toxic people. Number 10. The members of Big Bang are probably one of the most problematic idols I've seen in a group. Oh boy, I'm probably gonna get bashed for this, but oh well. I like some of Big Bang's songs and I recognize the mark they've left on the K-pop industry and how many people adore them, and even some idols decided to audition because of them. However, from what I've seen, Big Bang have done so much shit and I think people just sweep it under the rug because they are the quote-unquote kings of K-pop, so they do no wrong. Let me remind y'all, the G-Dragon has publicly said the N-word a couple times, done blackface along with Tseng and Tiang, and have done cultural appropriation so many fucking times, and I think the only thing they apologized for was the blackface thing. Before y'all start calling me a hypocrite, yes, I know that some members of NCT have worn braids and other groups, and I don't think that's okay at all, but it's one thing for the Big Bang members to have done it constantly, and not to mention the huge scandal Singrai had. I know it may seem like I hate Big Bang or something, but I really don't. I actually admire them as artists and it's cool how creative they are, but as a black person, I don't find it cool how y'all are hating on a group that wore braids once, apologized and never done it again, yet you're silent when it comes the older groups. Sis, that don't add up. Okay, that was all of my K-pop hard to swallow pills. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous to upload this lol, but I hope you all enjoyed. If you disagree or have some of your own, I'd love to hear it, but please be respectful. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you all next time. Hope you have a good day and bye.